Hey there! To continue the Lankhmar mood I've been in recently, we're talking about a dozen Lankhmar locations, a setting sourcebook for DCC Lankhmar. This book is super useful if you're running either a Lankhmar campaign or an urban campaign. I mentioned in my review covering Grey Matters that you could basically just buy the module for the Smuggler's Hideout to use as a location and it would be worth it. And that's generally what the entire book is. The art for the book is exactly what you expect from Goodman Games, which is to say fantastic. I love the cover art, the green and orange contrast, the sorceress spying on a party of thieves in a busy tavern, poring over maps. I'd actually love to have this as a poster. Inside, I think they made a smart move making sure the maps are as readable as possible. I've said before that I love Goodman Games maps as pieces of art, but aren't always usable. But here, each one is numbered and laid out clearly and easily. So, as the name suggests, there are 12 locations here, and most of them are generic for easy use. But there are 2 that are specific to Lankhmar, which we'll get to in a bit. Having the generic buildings make this a really great resource for any GM running urban games, because what this book does is just have buildings right on the fly with their layout and information easy to reference if your players veer off course and decide to go exploring through the city. And the locations they cover were great choices because it really covers a good chunk of stuff you'll come across in Lankhmar or any fantasy city. Each entry also has a reason as to why a building could be used in a campaign, such as the City Watch House being a place where one of the party members is being kept after a heist has gone wrong, and this building could be the star of a daring breakout sequence. So this book covers a City Watch House, a fences business, a pleasure house, a temple, a sailing ship, a sorcerer's house, a shop with living quarters, a street market, a warehouse, and a wealthy villa, as well as the thieves' house and the silver eel. These locations do have NPCs and backstories attached, but those are easily ignored if you don't need them, and this covers most places your players might find themselves. Whether it's offloading hot items over their local fence, buying gear from a street market, robbing a wealthy merchant, or anything else the thieving PCs might be doing, this resource is super helpful. Also, if you're running a campaign, this could be a good book to flip through for inspiration if you need some ideas for some future sessions. For example, the background on the rented temple is that it's currently housing a sect devoted to Miska, the Lord of Cats, a religion that is on the rise. You are given stats of the priests as well as a layout and description of what each room contains. This could be the group's next victim if they were so inclined, or it could be a location where the priests want to hire the PCs to either defend them or carry out tasks for them in exchange for some cash from the donation box. Maybe this could double as a hideout protected by the priests they got in go with them from an earlier job and need a place to lay low for a bit. Each location entry has a small blurb on what is currently going on there that is great for both inspiration or if you need something happening in the moment and you're drawing a blank. As for the 2 named locations, these are 2 great ones for fans of the original stories. You have the Silver Eel, which is Mouser's favorite tavern, and you have the Thieves' House, which is where the Thieves Guild resides. The Silver Eel works double as the layout for a tavern, however finding a tavern layout for a fantasy game is probably the easiest thing to find online, so it mostly works as a nice nod to the stories and to just add a little historical location for the players who will appreciate it. The Thieves' House, on the other hand, is amazing. It has 40 rooms and it's so big that the map is on a 2-page spread. I think this is a must-have location for any protracted Lankhmar campaign. This follows the lore of the Thieves' House being confusing and huge, and if there is ever an infiltration or assault in the Thieves Guild, or really just any chances for the party to end up here for some reason, this is super useful to have. And that's pretty much it. I can't really get into more of it without just straight up reading out the rooms and locations, but this book is great. I think my favorite location is the ship, as it both works as a ship and port for various uses, and as the layout for the ship if the players decide they want to take to the high seas, or if you need a big vessel for any DCC games. If you guys are looking to play or GM more games, my Discord is now open to games being offered. I can't promise slots or that it'll only be DCC games as it's a bit of a diverse RPG community, but I'm hoping we can get more games offered there on the regular. Anyway, play smart, play risky, and stay safe out there.